Hey, Real Green Ninja here. We get a lot of calls about tax reports this time of year, so I want to point out some things that might affect your tax reports. So let's begin. Now, one thing I want to bring up is that we get a lot of calls about the tax reports that you guys are looking to submit to your tax agencies, or you're looking at the reports to figure out what tax you owe and stuff like that. There are a couple things that can influence what that tax rate is going to be that may make you scratch your head and say, why is this number not quite looking right? So let me show you what I'm talking about. If I go to my financial, sales tax report, and tax report, I'm running it for the accrual basis. That means I am looking at it calculating tax based upon the work that was completed. Doesn't matter if I got any money for it, it's just work that was completed. I'm also going to run from this month to date so I can take a look at least some numbers so I can show you what I'm talking about. If we do a preview, you'll see this is what my current tax report looks like. For example, right here for this Forestel tax, I have $191.20 worth of sales, but because of discounts or something like that, I have $166.20 at a tax rate of 7.9%, comes out to be a tax amount of $941. But you're like, wait a minute. If I pull over my calculator here and do the 166.20 times that tax rate of 7.9%, I get up there, there we go. I end up with $13.12, actually $13.13 with rounding. And you say, well, wait a minute, that tax report's not right. The thing is there are things that can influence what this tax amount is. And that's what this video is about. I want to show you two things that could really affect what the tax amount is when you look at the report. The first thing I want to talk about is I want to talk about adjustments. When you generate an adjustment that you want to credit a tax for, you will create a ZZ adjustment code. Now, the easiest way to do it is when you go to create the adjustment, check mark create separate tax adjustments, and it's going to reverse calculate for you. This adjustment is for $160.80, and again, this is the breakdown based upon the tax codes that they have. The thing is when I go to post the adjustment, this amount is not going to show up on the tax report because again, it itself is not a tax amount. These will though, because these are taxes, and you'll see each one's affecting a different tax code on my report. So again, the ZZ adjustments for those taxes will show up, but that posting error adjustment won't show up on the tax report. So let's go ahead and post that. We're going to do it for today's date, and this is the only adjustment I have for today. So there we go. We posted it. Now, so if we go back to our tax report, and then we tell it to look only at today. If we do a preview, you'll see it actually only shows those ZZ adjustments. So that right there can create one of those discrepancies of my net taxable sales amount times my tax rate doesn't equal what the tax actually shows. Because again, those credits will be removed from that tax liability. So that's the first thing I want to show you. The second thing I want to show you is installments, because installments can affect the tax reports the same way. So if you go to this customer's account and create an installment plan, I'm going to hit new up here at the top. When you add a job to an installment plan and you tell it, okay, we're going to make it part of the installment plan, it's going to take this calculated amount, and then when you generate the plan, it's going to create the tax based upon that calculated amount. So again, we're coming here. Let's say it's going to be 5 payments. Let's put some random date in there. Let's say the 15th. Create that there. Again, these tax amounts here are based on this calculated. If I come up here and then change this to something like $5 million, and I tell it to recalculate the payments, you'll see that it recalculates the payments, the amounts that's due, but it does not change the tax amount. In order for the system to recalculate the tax amount, you would have to hit this calculate tax, and then it will update that tax amount. So again, if you create an installment plan that uses a manual input and you do not put in to recalculate the tax by hitting this button or manually update those tax amounts, it's going to create a discrepancy because the amount that's going to be charged is going to be, in this case, $1 million. But remember, before, the amount that was taxed is based off the calculator of 165. So again, the amount that shows up as being a taxable and the amount of taxes actually charged will be different. Now, I did do a video on how taxes work with installment plans, so I'm going to put a link in the video here. Hopefully, I'll try to figure it out. So that way, if you want to, you can go and see how installment plans and taxes work with installment plans. So like I was saying, is again, two big things that can really influence your tax report. The first thing are those ZZ adjustments. The second thing is if you have an installment plan that uses a manual input and you do not manually update the tax amount to match the manual input charges versus the calculated tax for the calculated charges. So I hope that helps, and I hope that makes a little bit more sense to you guys, and you have yourself a wonderful day.